Just woke up. I feel good. Look how big my tooth is. It's like, hey everybody, how you doing? I'm here to say she slept okay. Everything's alright now. Hey, tooth, go back inside. Ain't nobody letting you out yet, alright? Damn it, that tooth. Look at it. Hi, I'm Pollybug. No, you're not. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, man. You better believe this shit's gonna get fixed. It's like really out there doing its own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, everybody. But then, is it rude to be that forward? I say yes, it is that rude to be that forward. Look at it. 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 Ah, hallelujah. I ended up having to call the ambulance yesterday. I was bullshitting with my daughter, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, like she... when we were talking, you know, and I'm like, I think my throat's closing up, you know. So anyway, we end up... Yeah. I got a new phone. I got a new phone, and I tape these on my phone. So that's why money's a little tighter than normal, because I had to get a new phone. But it's all good. It's all good. How many times will this pop out now? Is the question. Yeah, just do it. Anyway, who cares? Please don't do that, sir. Sir. Freaking Klaus. Come on, Klaus. Klaus! No! Come on up. Come on up. I gave them these scratching pads. I gave them a scratchy tree. They won't scratch the couch. Weird thing with cats, I don't know. When I first got a cat, first time, I got her declawed, you know, and my brother lost his mind. He's like, what if somebody took your fingers off? How would you like that? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'd like that, you know. And he was like, yeah, that's what you just did. So, I never really thought about it like that, because they go in, you know, and I stopped doing that. So now my cats have claws. These two bozos are on some other bullshit all the time. So Klaus, I cannot even cut his nails. I've had like 30 cats probably. I cannot cut his nails for the life of me. Just give him a little clip, but he has such bad PTSD from the last place he lived at with the kids or whatever. I think he was tortured, really, I do. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for him. It's not worth it for me. I let Groove out first thing this morning. It's already 6:30 a.m. That asshole's already out. Normally I wait till like 8 because all the moles are like out right now. You know, the moles, he already brought one in. The moles, the chipmunks, the birds, everybody's out right now. It's a party out there. And that fucker's sitting underneath the tree. Plotting. I had an ambulance come. I had this hot dude. You know they're hot, damn it. You know they're always hot. You gotta look your worst to see the hottest people on the planet. The worst to the hottest, like that. Like two bipolar. The bipolars are up. He was 40. He was a disco snack, you understand? But here's the thing. I didn't know what eye to look at. He was kind of like, this guy was like, whoop, 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 whoop. And then this guy was like, La Toggle. But it still wasn't great. But this guy was like, and I was like, When he came in, he was all business. By the time he left, his zipper was down. It really was down. It's like all the way down. I called my daughter on the phone while he was here. She called and I said, can I answer this so she could ask you questions or something like that. But he ended up being real nice, but he was not like kind at first. He was very business like. He was so business like that. My goofy ass, I'm irritating him from the get-go. And there was only one guy, because normally there'll be 3 guys or at least 2. And there were no ladies. I usually get a lady thrown up in there. One time, this is hilarious. But with that, he ended up talking me off the ledge, so we decided it's all in my head. I waved goodbye to him. But he was very sweet. He came in a big white fire truck, and so he literally came in a white carriage. He was adorable, and he was sweet, and he was kind, and I love him, and I thank him for all he did. Yeah, what the hell was I talking about before I went on that Goodwill tour? What am I, running for president? By the way, what the fuck is going on with the presidents? We got one guy falling upstairs. It's like, I go to bed by 8 p.m. And everybody's like, I think that's when you're going to find out if you're president or not. You going to stay up for that shit? And then we some other asshole falls asleep in court and farts on himself in front of millions of people, bajillions, every person on the world, in the whole world. Who the fuck is so fucking fugazi, like hanging out like, yeah, wait a minute, like he's like that guy like in study hall that's like, I don't care, I ain't listening to nobody. That's who he is. And then he falls asleep in fucking court with felonies on the line and farts out loud, just like a crazy lunatic. And then nobody says a fucking thing. I think I only saw that on like 2 things, and I'm thinking, dude, if that was me, that would be like banners across the sky. How the hell is this guy getting away with all this shit all the fucking time? We got 2 people. One's a felon, and the other one is check the fuck out. We have nobody running this country right now. This is insanity. Well, actually, it's always Congress running it, but we don't have a head. We got a body with no head. We got the head, we got no face, is what I'm saying. There's no face. And the faces are stupid. The faces are like this. So yeah, I don't like that. It's stupid. What the hell? Who the fuck am I supposed to vote for? Man, I really hope somebody puts something real stupid like real stupid on the voting thing. I'll vote for that, because this is just ridiculous. At this point anymore, I don't even think it matters who I vote for. I don't think it matters anymore. I think that shit really started with Clinton, I'm going to say, because that guy, he's smooth, sure. He's savvy. He's like a good, you could throw Bill Clinton into anything, including Epstein Island. So I think his wife made all the moves, because if you are the first lady, and your husband jizzes on a chick's dress, and that fucker saves it and shows the world, and you hang out, you fucking still hanging out? She's still hanging out? Epstein Island? She's still hanging out? Nah, that's a business arrangement right there. She's a lesbian anyway, you can tell. I would actually say she's like asexual, like without the old Latin A, without. So I think, yeah, she's she was president. Like unofficially, she was the president, and he was smooth. So, I mean, who says the stupid shit he said? So I think all that started. And the only good president, honestly, since then was Obama, and that's about it. Because even the Bushes, his dad was right on, but they made fun of the original Bush in that movie Naked Gun. because he threw up on people's dinner and a really expensive dinner or something like that, like a diplomat. He like yacked in a diplomat soup and some shit like that, because they were working the fuck out of that guy. He was all over the map. I think it was like, I think I was in high school when that happened, because the first person I ever voted for in my life was Bill Clinton, and when I turned old enough to vote, so I was still in high school, because my dumbass got held back, so I was like a year older than everybody, a whole year, which, like, there's good stuff and bad stuff with that. It was like the last year I'm in school, I have like 7 study halls. I really did have a lot of study halls. I had way too many study halls. I think we only had 7 classes. Maybe we had 8. But I would say like 70% of my classes were study halls, because I didn't want to stay in band anymore. I never wanted to be in band. I want to learn an instrument and know how to do that, but I never wanted to be in band. And then that was two classes a day, and I fucking hated it anyway. So by the time senior year came around and I failed and everything, trying to be a majorette 3 times in a row, I was like, deuces, like, fuck this noise. Who the hell wants to be told what to do in every single game? Like, you have to sit in an area like a bunch of dorks, like fucker sandwiches. And I was like, I'm out of this noise. I had a good time senior year. I could get dressed for the games and put on makeup and do stuff instead of having to be in a hot polyester outfit. Senior year was a lot of fun. I was thinking about the guys the other day. Okay, this is funny, but I gotta slow down. This is funny. You know how, like, I think that I got like a little sixth sense, or I could pay attention to other things a little bit better than some people might not realize they're paying attention. I could realize I'm paying attention. I was gonna do a video on nicknames of the way my class was in high school, the boys. They were like always on, and they not only called each other nicknames based on themselves. The one guy had a dick that had went to the side, and they called him Captain Hook. Arr! They did that to him all the time. Arr! And then they call him his mom's name too. So they'd all call each other their mom's names, then their grandma's names. I am legit haunted by one of my ex-boyfriends, one of my many Chris's. His grandma, her name rhymes with Mosey, and she hates my face. She's always hated me. She died, she passed away our senior year, and he and I made out in her house, like, within the week. I didn't know that. He told me afterwards, but, yeah, it was creepy in there. And I was like, where is she? And he's like, oh, she just died. And I was like, and I also think he had his friends outside the window watching us, because I remember going to school the next day, and this boy that was really just always a cutie patootie, he looked at me a little different that next day. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what? What the hell? So I'm doing this video, and I'm talking about the guys and all the stuff, and this particular one, he was burnt when he was a kid, because he's a mischievous person, okay? He gets into shit all the time. He's always doing shit like that. And he would kill an animal with a BB gun, stuff it full of fireworks, and blow it up. That's this person. And they called him the Flame because he caught his arm on fire, and he would, like, even do it himself. But that was, I think, a countermeasure. I don't know, but I digress. So I'm doing this video, right? I'm doing this video about it, and I have this pain in my lower back that is insane. Like, someone's going like, like, just really giving it to T-Bone, like, right up in there. And I was like, woo, it hurt so bad. I was like laughing, like it was that kind of a pain. And they kept coming, and every time I go to talk about them, just keep coming. I was like, fuck this shit, I actually finished the video. I'm uploading it, and it comes in even stronger. I immediately deleted it, and it went away and never came back. And I know it was her. 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 Man, she needs to leave me alone. Like, I don't even talk to that person anymore. I don't. When he got married, I saw the pictures. They all did the shocker sign. The shocker sign. Like, two in the pink, one in the stink situation, the gross shocker sign. The whole wedding party with a beautiful wedding party, like champagne-colored dresses. I think he married someone like 20 years younger than him. God, that poor girl. I can't even imagine what she's going through with him. He's a mess. But, it's weird. I was always I guess with that person, I was always like so romantical about it, you know, like it was unrealistic in my head the way I was. When we were kids, my dad and his dad had the same name. And my dad and his dad were best friends in high school. And I always think, they both also passed away 1 year of each other. And they both have cemetery plots just 1 or 2 away from each other. So it's kind of sweet. When they were in high school, my dad and his dad, they're both Paul. My dad, so there were 2 Pauls. My dad's a fisherman. He was a fisherman to the core. He would fish night and day. He'd fish. If he had an hour off, he'd fish. Like, he loved to fish. And so they were fishing. And they had, like, bobbers out, you know. And the cops show up. I think the legal drinking age then was 18. But they weren't 18. So, the cop shows up, he's like, what are you two doing here, you know? And the guy, the one Paul's real smooth, you know, he's like, oh, everything's okay, you know, don't even worry about it. I mean, both of them are drop dead gorgeous, and even a straight man could all agree that that's a fine looking gentleman, you know, like, my hat off to you, sir. There is a level of respect when you're dealing with somebody good looking. Automatically, there just is. And this guy, he's not only is he good looking, but he was just like smooth as silk. He was like a second father to me, and I loved him very, very much. And I love the shit out of that man. But so the cop comes up, and he's like, you know, what's going on here? You know, you guys all right? What are you doing out here? You know, they're like playing like Mungo Jerry and shit in the background. In the summertime, when the weather is hot, slip right up. You know, the thing about that song, when the weather is fine, you got fishing on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel. How fucked up is that? That actually is very true, though. Way to go, Mungo Jerry. Fuckers. Anyway, so the cop's like, hey, you know, what's going on, la, la, la. Paul's like, oh, it's all good, it's all good. My dad goes, the cop is literally walking away. And my dad goes, well, we got beer in the trunk. Like 2 cases of beer or some shit, the cop takes it. Here's how I think that happened. And this is what I'm thinking happened with that. I think that cop took that beer home. Is what I think. Think about it. In the 60s, if you were a cop, wouldn't you be like, I really truly think that there was like no real evidence rooms like back in the 60s when it came to shit like that. Do you know how much shit cops must have just pocketed back in the day because there was no tracking anything? I mean, it's just nothing against cops as a profession. Just the people are people. I mean, I could be a cop right now. You know what I mean? Like, anybody could be a policeman, and it's a position of power, but it kind of is. But, you know, it's like you're still a person. If you pull somebody over and they got a bag of weed, you might just take it home with you. You know what I'm saying? There's no cameras. I really wonder if I was a policeman in the 60s and I wonder what would be the best thing to take from somebody if you're a policeman in the 60s. First thing, I really can't think of anything other than weed. Like, I would really like... I know money seems like an obvious answer, but I think, yeah, it automatically comes with a terrible karma penalty. And I've seen, like, some things through the years where, like, you'll see someone say 8,000 was in evidence, but really they had 25,000 or some shit like that. And the cop's like, nope, only 8,000. The person's like, bullshit, you piece of shit. You took that money, you bitch. Like, everybody knows you took that money. Klaus? You gonna come? Come on, partner. Come on, you racist son of a bitch. Come on up here. Oh my goodness, Klaus, we didn't even turn on our light. Is that why you're not in camera? Come on, you want to get in the light? Come on. Spotlight. Klaus is such a good boy. He's crazy, like his mama's. He's like, I've never had a cat like Klaus. Because I've never had a cat like Klaus before. Dun, 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 dun. Never. You know, it's something that happened really weird my senior year. This I will talk about. I'm really irritated to this day. I had some really good girlfriends. We were all good friends. Like, tight friends. There was like 12 of us, I think. We did a senior skit. We'd have fun. I would make these no-bake cookies, and I fuck them up like 70% of the time. And for some reason, like, to this day, I cannot fucking figure it out. Like, sometimes I'm like dead on with the no-bake. It's not a hard recipe. It is not hard. It's like 6 cups oats, like a cup of milk, 2 cups sugar, a cup of peanut butter. Like, I even made it that many times, like a pinch of salt, like, and you gotta boil, it's a candy. Essentially, it's candy because you're not cooking anything but the sugar. So you gotta boil the sugar for 5 minutes. It's like sugar and milk and water, some bullshit, vanilla or something. And then so, me and my friends made them in livids. They were shitty. We were like, what the shit? And we put them in sandwich bags, but it looked like a bag of poop. And we threw them on this other girl's lawn. A couple of them, actually, and we were dying laughing. Like, we were laughing so hard. And I think, like, the week before that, either, I want to say the boys did it. They went through the whole town and took all the bunnies. They were, like, Easter bunnies that people used to put out in their yard, like, blow-up bunnies. They took all the bunnies from all the yards and put them in one yard. So, we were all, like, pain in the asses when we were kids. We had nothing to do, and it was fun. It's harmless fun. It was all harmless fun. Until we threw those cookies in somebody's yard. And the weird thing is that I don't even think she was that mad. She was kind of in a different clique. There was like, we were all friends, all the cliques, but my particular people were, our parents were labor workers, you know. We were blue-collar kids. But we were upper middle class still, because our parents busted a bust, okay? They did well. They worked very hard, but they had, you know, honest blue-collar jobs. And then the other clique was kind of like preppy. We were all preppy. We were, but this other clique was different. The kind that, like, backpacks through Europe. You know what I mean? Like, if I told my parents I want to backpack through Europe, that, like, would never be an option, ever. I could never be like, you know, man, I wanted to learn French. I was forced to learn Latin. Like, because that's how logical my parents were like, okay, they were like, you got high pie in the sky ideas. So that's what I'm saying. So I guess she threw a fit. Well, the group of guys that with all these nicknames and all this stuff, and we were all friends, and especially me, I dated like 2 of them, so I went to prom with another one of them, so there was like all these boys. I used to have the boys come over every Thursday night and watch Cheers at my house, just the boys, and I loved these boys. They were like my brothers. I admired them. I thought they were so clever with the nicknames. One of the kids in the older grades, their mom's name was Paula. And I like that because I've got a lot of Paulas in my house, and on my mom's side of the family, we have like 4 Paulas. It's insane. Plus my dad's a Paul. And there's just a lot of Pauls and Paulas in it. So they go, hey, hey, Paula, like every time they saw her, because they call each other nicknames. I always respected these kids, They were very dear to me. Man, I don't know what happened. I don't know what they said what the fuck happened. Why they got so fucking mad. They went after like 6 of us, I think. One of my girlfriends, her parents were saints. They'd have like 6 crack babies swinging in swings in the living room when you walk in their house. They had a big family to begin with. They had a very small house. Their parents were angels, just angels. The whole family's sweethearts, you understand? They had back in the day we had tin garbage cans. Their garbage cans were right up against the houses. These boys caught those garbage cans on fire. There were like 6 to 9 crack babies swinging in that house at all times. They almost caught that entire fucking house on fire. They did a few other things to other friends of mine that night. My dad was dying of cancer. No one knew because I didn't even find out till like 3 days before that myself. I even had a fucking party when my dad was in Cleveland Clinic dying because I didn't know where he was. Nobody fucking told me, okay? So I didn't even know. They came to my house because I had dated 2 of them. And mind you, I was madly in love with these kids. They put bologna on the outside of my father's car, which ruins the paint. They put lotion on the inside of my father's car. They took paintball guns, which just came out, and ruined the siding of my house. My dad came out with no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair, no arm hair, no leg hair. Looks at the house, looks at his car, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? And I found out who did it. My girlfriend's come and get me because I can't drive the car. It's fucked up, isn't it? We went to the one kid's house, man. I kicked in that fucking door. I'm a door kicker, if I haven't mentioned. I'll kick in a door like I'm in a saloon. I don't give a fuck. And I kicked in that door, and I mean, people were like, whoa, like, because I'm usually kind of cool about it. I'm laid back, but my mother's a raging piece of shit who would rage through the house on a daily basis, so I know rage. There's not much rage that I haven't been exposed to, and I could wheel it up myself when I want to. I kicked open that door, man. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Like, seriously. And to this day, I will never fucking understand it. I will never understand why that group of boys, and there were like 7 to 13 of them too, so how fucking dare them do that to me? Do that to my girlfriends? Do that to those sweet families? Do that to all the... I don't think they ever apologized once. And we were a close group. When we were all friends. So it's not even like there'd be like 3 of us or 5 of us. There'd be like 30 of us that were friends. So like when we had homecoming, after homecoming our senior year, we rented out a room in a hotel, like a downstairs room, like a banquet type, a small banquet room, and we had a karaoke machine, and we all sang songs, and my friend sang Roxanne, and he was like really into it. He was like, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. And it was like the best night ever. We were like dying, and then the girls we sang on the love shack, it's a little old shack where we just had a good night, man. And we were all best friends. And when that happened with those guys, It was like, whoa. I've never been friends with them since. I never will. I mean, I'll never, ever, ever understand that. I, it was just so malicious. It was the punishment didn't make the crime. It would be like, it just didn't. And they knew I adored them all. I mean, really, I did. I still think they're all geniuses, you know, and I really do. I think they're hilarious and, you know, but it's just like one of those things. Like I said, I got jumped when I was like 7, 8 years old by 5 of my very best friends. I mean, that was my first experience. And then I got to go on the bus with these jerks the next day, you know what I mean? And I didn't even tell anybody. For like next year and a half, I went to school with them before we moved, and my mom never even knew what happened. And then these guys do this again. These are like people I've had in my house, and I bring food to, and I go talk to their mothers. And I had my girlfriend, she married this kid. I used to go over to his parents' house and hang out with his parents, and I wasn't even dating their kid. I had another friend. This guy. This is another instance where my mother didn't tell me something terrible happened. I had a very dear friend, and he was an angel. He was fantastic. He was insanely talented. Insanely talented. He was in the band too. He played trumpet, I think, but he was a football player. Anything this kid touched, he was gold at. He was an insanely intelligent person, but he was a fantastic athlete. He was adorable. One of the cutest people I've ever met in my whole life. He was driving a motorcycle his freshman year, and he died. And I had a DUI, and I decided that I needed to cut the shit myself. And my dad had just died. And my aunt, my dad's sister said, if you come to New York, I'm a professor, you got to go to school where I teach, and you got to take full courses. I'll let you drive my son's car, and you come, you know, drive your cousin's car, and you could come, but just go full-time. You got to work part-time, and go to school full-time. And I was like, okay. So I took chemistry and some psychology classes, and of course trigonometry and lots of algebras and stuff like that. So win-win. But I'm in New York, and my best friend dies, and she didn't even fucking tell me. And I missed the funeral, and I didn't find out for a month and a half. I was at that boy's house all the time, hung out with his parents. My dad was checked out, and my mom was a fucking nightmare. So I'd hang out with other people's parents. But I did. And I liked it. I'd bring them food, and they appreciated it. I still do that shit. Oh, good. Bye. Okay, I'm out of time almost, but I want to tell you this. I was really worried about the food that I brought home, or about all the food that I made for my other videos. I forgot. I did give some to a neighbor. I gave some to a neighbor that I didn't, you know, like, in my opinion, if I taste something, I don't give it to anybody. You know, like a double dip. Just because that's fucking weird. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross. Like, the thought of somebody making sauce and tasting the sauce and it's still serving the sauce and really tasting the sauce, I'm like, oh God. So, but I did give some to a neighbor, so thank Christ. A lot of it wasn't too bad, so I saved half of it. But yes, my bank account's overdrawn. But the other thing is it was as overdrawn because I did have this car wash thing for $45, and when I realized I had $4, I had emailed them and said, please reimburse me. I didn't realize I have no gas now to drive to the car wash. So I think they reimbursed me $45 or something like that. So it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's still negative. And it did go through because Amazon's shipping the thing, so I'm really fucked for the rest till the 3rd. And it's the 8th. I think so. Woo. What? So anyway, a lot of the food that I bought and made on 4 days. It was 4 days old, so I did throw that immediately into the freezer. And then the rest was ruined. So produce was shot to shit, and the rest was just died. I don't fuck with chicken after 3 days. I know technically you got like 5 days, but nah, after 3 days, chickens, get rid of it. So I did lose a lot of stuff, but that's okay. I still felt pretty blessed and happy that I even can throw 50% of it away, because what a blessing to have that. You know, I mean, to keep 50%, but all of it, not to throw stuff away, but the fact that I have that option in my life to have food at all, like, I should just shut the fuck up. But looky, I'm getting back to it, and I haven't been eating, so woohoo! I told you guys I'm going to lose that weight, child. So I was 162 when I went into the hospital, and I think I'm around, I got to go weigh myself today, but I was 156 yesterday, so that's good. And I'm going to be 135 by the time I'm 51 on September 8th, so that's going to happen. You'll see it happen. I told you, if I decide something, it happens. I do what I say, and I say what I do. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for listening to me. You're really making my life better. You are. You are. All right. Get out of here.